On the first, thefablife.com published an interview with with Scholastic editor David Levithan about the dystopian trend in YA literature, and he had some interesting things to say about it. I think, I don't know if it was down at the Capitol or another site that commented and said, well, there must be something wrong with us because we love dystopian literature so much. But in his interview, he was saying how he, didn't necessarily consider this as popular a trend as, say, paranormal romance or something like that, because when you finish reading a dystopian book, you don't instantly say, well, I really want to read more dystopian literature. But, I personally finished The Hunger Games, and I was like, I would love to read some more dystopian fiction, so maybe there's something wrong with me too. But I thought it would be interesting for us to talk about why this trend is as popular as it is. Obviously The Hunger Games is an international success. Other books that fall into the dystopian genre, like Divergent, Delirium, I think, what's another one, like Blood Red Road. These books are also really gaining in popularity. Yeah. Divergent and Delirium have been, the rights to those books have been purchased by production companies. They're going to become films. It's such a dark genre. You wouldn't think that it would be this successful, but it is. So I was just wondering if we could spend a couple of minutes and maybe try to figure out why people love it so much. Does anyone have... Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Because it's so close to reality. As crazy as it seems, it's one of those things where, especially in the times that we're in, and all of the different chaos and things that are going on, and you read these stories, and it's kind of like, to me, when I read them, it's like, even as dark as it is, it reminds me of, I'm always thinking in my head, how close are we to something like this?
Right.
In our times, in our world. But yet, I've seen other people also talk about, and I think this is a really good point, the kids, because this is a young adult, it's focused at, teenage heroines and heroes, and these overcoming what the adults have given them. The adults have given them such a cruel world, such, horrendous living conditions, all these different wrongs that have happened, and it's up to the kids to take things back. These,
right.
These teenagers to come in and take the world back. And so in a way, it's empowering to see. I don't know. I mean, I'm speaking as a 38-year-old completely addicted to dystopian right now. And when I read that article, I was like, wait a second, what's wrong with me? Because I could gobble up any dystopian novel right now. It's just. I find it so interesting.
I think the thing with those stories, it's not about that it's all apocalyptic and it's all negative and it's all terrible, but although all those things are happening, it's about overcoming all those things. Like you said, it's empowering. So I think what the appeal is taking back some of the power, working through it, recognizing what's going wrong, being able to see it and say, no, this isn't acceptable, or what do I need to do to make a change? So it takes, especially when you're in a teenage mindset where you don't feel you've got a lot of control, where, you're at the mercy of your school teachers, your parents, your friends even, and here you are as a story where everything is controlled for you and it's in a bad way. You can break out and say, or you can work out what the problem is and work through it and hopefully come out the other side and have effected a change. I don't know if Katniss, clearly she does, they have the revolution and things get better, but at a big price for her, I guess. So I guess there wasn't a hugely happy ending, although there was a positive outcome. But I think it's a stage in life, and I think there's been, you can look at like 1984 was a hugely popular story that had a lot of looking forward at what we could expect. And unfortunately, a lot of it came true, and I'd hate to think that a lot of what Suzanne Collins has described comes true for us, but I think she's pretty close.